Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. Wow, what a turn of events. The last 24 hours has been extremely fruitful for cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and others. I was going to put it to you this way, guys. Yesterday was Tuesday. If you guys are watching this video on the day that I'm releasing it, today is Wednesday, December 3rd. But on the Tuesday, this was midnight, okay, coming into Tuesday. As you guys can see, Bitcoin did form what was that inverted head and shoulders pattern. You guys can see Bitcoin broke right out of that, obviously. And in the last 24 hours, guys, you can see Bitcoin did rally almost 8%. So this is midnight on Wednesday, December the 3rd. We did actually go as high as around 93, so just over 8%. 93,900, almost $94,000. Now we're trading in and around 93,000 even. So Bitcoin trading up on high volume here. As you guys are seeing, volume is receding as we are retracing, so that's a good sign. Hopefully we do see another extreme pump to the upside. I like seeing this on the chart. Again, this is the 1 hour chart. Let's throw Bitcoin on the daily. And you guys can see a great signal here is this engulfing green candlestick on the Bitcoin chart. After we did go significantly down, Bitcoin did form a double bottom on Monday, which I'm sure a lot of people were a bit skeptical about. But then the day after, we did get this engulfing bullish candlestick with higher volume down here. So hopefully this is a sign that we're going to see a reversal for Bitcoin and a reversal for altcoins. Now, fear and greed, guys, is up over 20. We're still in fear, but now we're at 22. Look at the market cap, back up over $3 trillion. It's up over 6.2% in the last 24 hours. Bitcoin rallied 6.28%. We got Ethereum up 8.75%. Wow. XRP is up 6.77%. Solana's up 10.4%. And a lot of these altcoins are touching double digits. Some of them like Cardano, Bitcoin Cash. Link is up over 17% in the last 24 hours. Whoa, Sui Coin up over 23% in the last 24 hours. So some of the ones that were majorly hit are now regaining some of that value. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully this is sustainable on the XRP chart. Let me throw that on the hourly. You guys can see XRP also did see a move to the upside. Significant move to the upside. We were talking about this inverted head and shoulders pattern for XRP, and we were really just hoping that we would get beyond this trend line here. And of course, for XRP, we did also see that breakout to the upside in the morning. So XRP did hit a high of 222 roughly, and that was up significantly, 221.9. Currently, one XRP is going for about 217.5. So retracing a little bit, coming down on lower volume. It's okay, guys. It's just the beginning. Again, this is just the 1 hour chart. When in doubt, zoom all the way out. And for more information on where I see the market going in the short, medium, and long term, where I'm going to be buying the dips, where I'm going to be selling my positions, are we witnessing a relief rally? Or is the bull run going to continue? Guys, I address all that at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel, only $5 a month. I know most of you probably go to the grocery store and spend $5 without even thinking about it. So I think it's pretty affordable, $5 a month for the subscription, but you got to subscribe and stay subscribed to lock into that price. So we're seeing a reversal on the XRP chart. That is positive news. Bitcoin is rallying. The exuberance is coming back in the crypto space, although there are still some that think we are in a bear market, like Marcus Thielen here. Of 10x Research, he believed that markets could be entering a bear market and says institutional investments into crypto ETFs are less of a priority. The rationale for this trade is not really there right now. This courtesy of All in Crypto. Here's what Marcus Thielen has to say.
There's a real possibility that we're entering a longer term bear market, unfortunately. And this is, on the one side, of course, the 4-year cycle that everybody starts to talk about. But what we're seeing is actually US stocks tend to perform quite poorly during midterm elections. And of course, next year is a midterm election year. It's a very important question here. When are these, institutional investors, these ETF buyers are going to come back? When we look, for example, Bitcoin is marginally down year to date, but the ETFs have net bought 24 billion. So it's almost like they're 24 billion US dollars too long here. Of course, they will not sell 24 billion. For example, in March, April, they only sold like 5 billion. So it wasn't really that much. But now they sold already 4 billion, 14 trading days after the FOMC meeting. But nevertheless, we're coming now into the end of the year, and it's probably not where a lot of institutional investors are going to put on a lot more risk. And it's not really that you need to bargain hunt Bitcoin here, as long as the Fed is not really dovish. One of the key reasons, for example, institutional investors, hedge fund managers bought Bitcoin was really because of the dollar devaluation trade that was supposedly to happen. But of course, the US dollar has gone sideways. It has not gone down anymore. So the rationale for this trade is really not there right now. And I think end of the year, institutional investors are probably more focused on cleaning up their books and taking more risk. And I think what was also very crucial was, of course, the October 10th crash that we saw, where Bitcoin went down from 122,000 to 102,000. So it was a $20,000 decline. And I think that brought probably to people's mind that, yes, there can be a lot of volatility in Bitcoin, even intraday, even on the weekends when no institutions are really in the office. And it's because Bitcoin doesn't have circuit breakers like other listed institutional futures, basically. And I think that's why we probably go into January, wait there for the next FOMC meeting until they turn a little bit more dovish. And if that doesn't happen in January, then we might actually get into like March, and probably that's sort of like the time.
So he discusses a lot in that 2 minutes. I'm just going to go back to the Bitcoin chart real quickly. He is essentially bearish on Bitcoin, saying institutions are likely going to be focused on cleaning up their books. We did reach 122, and that was right around here and around the beginning of October before the big liquidity event. And then he said it dipped down to 102 very, very quickly. So losing $20,000 per BTC very quickly, all in 1 month. So this is the beginning of November. November, obviously, we did see a bearish month. We weren't expecting that. Hopefully, though, we do see this rebound. Hopefully, what we're seeing here is a double bottom pattern that's going to take us to the upside. But, overall, bearish. Again, if this is a relief rally, we got to be aware of it. If this is the continuation to the bull run, we've got to be aware of it. And you guys know where you can find me, where I discuss all those things and more. Okay, well, at least we got President Trump nuking Jerome Powell right now in the cabinet meeting. This coming from Eric Doherty. We have a guy, I'm not even going to read it. I'll just let Donald Trump explain it himself.
Down 86%, thank you. And mortgage rates, despite the fact that we have an incompetent chairman of the Fed, a real dope, who should reduce rates. I saw even Jamie Dimon said he should be reducing rates. I never saw Jamie Dimon say that. I wonder why he said that. But he really said it because he's right. But we have a guy that's just a stubborn ox who probably doesn't like your president, your favorite president. But they're going to be coming down. We'll be announcing somebody probably early next year for the...
Whoa, you have a guy who's a stubborn ox who probably doesn't like your president, your favorite president. We have an incompetent Fed chair, a real dope. Yeah, he's talking about Jerome Powell. So something just changed in U.S. policy. This coming from Jessica Gonzalez, and it could flip the entire crypto market. Most people aren't watching it, but you should. Guys, the odds of Kevin Hassett becoming the next Fed chair just spiked to 72%.
So let's talk about the policy turn that could change everything, because the odds of him becoming the chair just jumped 72%. He said, "I view low rates as essential for serving the economy." So in a world where Japan is pulling capital back home, the US is issuing record debt, and QT is ending with a lag, a Fed chair who prefers lower rates changes the entire path of liquidity. It fits the direction the system already needs. Lower rates mean cheaper capital, and cheaper capital creates liquidity. Liquidity lifts risk assets, and Bitcoin historically moves first. Bitcoin's price action is the distraction. The real story is the hidden shift beneath the entire system. The real story is in the sovereigns and the institutions buying Bitcoin while everyone else is freaked out. The real story is in the fact that Japan cracked a 30-year liquidity anchor and that quantitative tightening ended on paper, even though the flow of liquidity hasn't returned yet. So while all of this plays out, support is forming between $80,000 and $85,000. Capitulation signals are peaking, and exchange reserves have slipped into levels last seen in 2018.
Essentially, all this to say that Bitcoin liquidity has to come back to the market, and our best chance of having that is reducing rates. Now, she did mention in that clip that Kevin Hassett has said it would be beneficial and supportive to a healthy market if we did see rates decrease. Donald Trump just signaled that pro-crypto Kevin Hassett is in the running for Fed chair. Here's another clip, only 11 seconds long. Listen to this.
A potential Fed chair is here too. I don't know. Are we allowed to say that? Potential. He's a respected person, that I can tell you. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin, meaning Kevin Hassett. Right after the moment, odds increased to 84% on Polymarket and 78% on Kalshi. Well, I've got Polymarket up here. Kevin Hassett, odds at 83%. Let me just refresh that. No, now it's at 85%. So as of the time of this recording, I just refreshed this. Kevin Hassett odds, it went back down to 83. Anyway, doesn't matter. 83, 85. The odds of Kevin Hassett becoming the next Fed chair, very high still. So positive news, guys. Wanted to thank Crypto Russ, wanted to thank Jessica Gonzalez, Eric Doherty, and All In Crypto for posting that. Now, let's talk a little more about the institutionalization of crypto. SEC Chair Paul Atkins confirms crypto innovation exemption is coming in January. So this is the thing, guys. We need a robust crypto market in order for institutions to feel confident. I mean, right now we've got Bitcoin coming out of this double bottom pattern. That's a positive sign. We got up to $26,000 per BTC just based on where the crypto market stands today. But really, guys, it's about the institutions. That money is going to increase this number 3, 5, 10-fold. I don't know. But eventually we are going to see a crypto market worth $10 trillion. That is the prediction there from most analysts in the crypto space when we do see institutional capital enter. So it's got to be a perfect storm. The Fed chair needs to be replaced, but the SEC also has to do their part, okay? The SEC is pushing new crypto rules despite major Wall Street warnings. Regulators are moving towards a friendlier digital asset framework, even as traditional exchanges fear competitive disadvantages. This is a clip of Paul Atkins discussing just that, courtesy of Crypto Russ. Listen to this.
And do you think that can happen before the end of the year?
Well, we'll see. We're working with Congress and we're providing what we call technical assistance to them regarding legislation to make sure that they're staying on what makes sense and that meshes with other laws and whatnot. But we'll see. I can't prognosticate that, but we have enough authority to drive forward. I'm looking forward to having an innovation exemption that we've been talking about now. We'll be able to get that out in a month or so is what I'm hoping. We were impeded a bit by the government shutdown. Obviously, we couldn't work on things during that time, but we're on track and we will be able to forge forward with the crypto area and make sure that we are able to embrace this new area of innovation that for too long the United States basically has just pushed back against.
The U.S. has been pushing back because of Gary Gensler and co. But guys, I think Paul Atkins secretly doubled down. Here's a clip brought to me by one of my Patreon subscribers. SEC Chairman Paul Atkins rings the bell and delivers a keynote address at the NYSE. And listen to what he references here.
So I share Mr. Buffett's observations and concerns, which is why earlier this year, the SEC held a roundtable that brought together companies, investors, law firms, and compensation consultants to discuss the current state of the agency's executive compensation disclosure rules and potential reforms. Somewhat to my surprise, there was universal agreement among the panelists that the length and complexity of executive compensation disclosure have limited its usefulness and insight to investors. So we need a reset of these and other SEC disclosure requirements, and this roundtable was one of the first steps to execute my goal of ensuring that materiality is the North Star for the SEC's disclosure regime.
Wait a minute, the what?
That materiality is the North Star.
That's right, guys, the North Star, and I'm really looking forward to this Christmas's Bearable Guy riddle. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. This is from 4 years ago. Remember the North Star, guys? XRP going to the moon. Paul Atkins has just referenced it. And German media is now updating their new spot ETF forecast. This is Oliver Michel, confident as ever that XRP price is going to continue to mount. And as always, I'm going to be translating this for you guys. So he says, overall, things are looking quite good for XRP. He says we had the launch of several spot XRP ETFs, and to give our viewers a sense of what has been happening in that area last week, XRP is valued at approximately $289 billion in terms of the ETFs, and is billions of millions. It is valued at 312 billion. So a completely new spot ETF, namely XRP, is roughly on par with an established one, he says. In my opinion, that's already a really great achievement. And I assume that if a little more sunshine settles on the market here, then we'll have even better figures. Okay, for a start, it's actually a really great thing. But you have to have patience, and eventually things will improve. Did you see that? Where is it going to go from there? Things will improve, and then boom. That's what we'll get, guys. Price discovery once things do improve. So ETFs are going to play a role. Obviously, we need the SEC to engage in proper cryptocurrency regulations. Then we're going to get that institutional inflow that could help support a bull case for Bitcoin and other cryptos like XRP. 2026 is shaping up to look very promising. That's just my opinion. And for more opinions on where I see this market going, you guys can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. Guys, the Working Money Channel merch store is also up and running. If you want to buy a Christmas gift for your loved one, check out the Working Money Channel merch store. Link is in the description of the video. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.